What has happened in the McLaren garage? Is Piastri getting duffed on by the team? No. I think, as we mentioned, I think there's just a So let's run through the factors, right? And I think they're all valid. The first one is the mental aspect. The pressure of leading a championship, leading by 32 points after Zandvoort, he would 100% have taken at the start of the season. Any driver would. However, to be in that position and have so much to lose, anyone who's played any form of sport, if you have such a substantial lead and then you start to kind of dial it back a little bit and get a bit tentative because you know you've got so much to lose and because you've got a buffer, that can be a negative. That could be a negative for you. And I think that's definitely had a negative impact on Piastri. I think he would almost have fared better if the championship was like Norris was 7 points behind or single finger digits behind all the time than it was over a race win behind. So that's playing on his mind, I think. I think it's the mental aspect. He's arriving to tracks which I don't think he does very well at. Last season, he didn't do well at these circuits. That may also be playing on his mind as well. And I think with what happened at Circuit of the Americas and what's obviously going on here as well, it's clearly evident that they aren't maybe tracks that he takes a liking to, whereas on the flip side, Norris does take a liking to them. And there's also the theory as well, and it's probably a valid theory, that the car has just kind of got away from him a bit in relation to the development, starting maybe back towards like Baku, where the car has just maybe not felt as comfortable to him in more recent races as on the flip side it has done more so to Norris, and that all obviously breeds confidence, and it all comes back to the mental side of things and everything that we've just mentioned, and you then end up getting the gaps that we've just seen last weekend and here now. So I think, as I said earlier, it may even do Piastri some good to lose the championship lead this weekend. I genuinely think that. It sounds crazy. Because yes, overall you don't want to lead, you don't want to lose the lead. But I think it almost might do him some good to reset and have that mental flip of being the leader to then becoming the chaser. And it's a completely different ball game again. So, we'll see. Time will tell. But that's really, I think, what is going on with Piastri at the moment. And there's no... Look, something could happen up ahead of him tomorrow and he could still score a decent result and limit the damage again. Damage limitation. But, yeah. I do hope Oscar comes back to form. He's talented, just think these tracks aren't the best for him. Yeah, maybe. And that's the thing, yeah, that change in mindset can be all the difference. I mean, we've all been it. It's like it is so much easier to be a chaser than it is a leader. And it's only those who are able to put themselves in that position. It's the first time Piastri and Norris have ever been in the position of leading. Norris kind of had it at the start of the season, didn't he? He had that big lead from the get-go over Piastri, with, of course, Piastri finishing 9th and him finishing 1st. And then Piastri just chipped away at it and then took the lead. Norris then had to catch up again to Piastri. Then he lost. He was catching up to him, and then he lost that big advantage. And then he lost all of his gains due to that, obviously, DNF in Zandvoort, and then he's continually chipped away again. So this may be a blessing in disguise for Piastri. And then Interlagos, he comes back strong, and same in or he ends up chasing until the last race of the season, and he wins in the last race of the season. So, which I still think this championship is going to go down to. Because then Norris, of course, wants to lead the championship, but then he's in the same position Piastri is in right now. He then has more to lose than Piastri. So it could be, as someone has said, Lando could then bottle it. Yeah, he very much could, because then, oh no, I'm in the lead. What do I do? How do I drive? How do I approach race weekends? Do I be more aggressive? Do I attack this driver? Like, what do I do? So mentally, it's very, very tricky. I think that's what Piastri has struggled really to manage with in the last 5 races, with probably the combining factor of losing a bit of control of the car. and being comfortable in the car. It may very well be that there's no change to the car and it's still the same. But if you get in your own head and you start to think there's nothing, like especially if you're looking at the data, it could be a blessing and a curse being able to have access to your teammates' data, your championship rivals' data, because you look at it and maybe thinking, I don't know how to replicate it right now. And you get in your own head when actually, in reality, there's not actually anything wrong. It's just confidence. As a single race, once Max gets ahead, no one is catching him. Chasing Max is not an advantage. That is 100% true, because Max has been there and done that, like, many times before. So he knows how to lead. And that's why the greats become the greats, because they're able to just... They're comfortable leading. They're not comfortable... Like, they don't want to be the chasers. They're more comfortable leading. One of the best leaders of any sport in history is Tiger Woods. The statistics of him leading a tournament after 2 rounds of golf, especially in majors, is unbelievable. I think he's only ever lost once when he's been leading after 2 rounds of golf in a major. He's got 14 of them. He's got 15 of them, sorry, and he's won 14 of them. And they're the most high-pressured environments when it comes to golf. And then other tournaments, exactly the same. Like, when he's statistic, like, leading is something that he wanted and he relished and very rarely gave up. And there's drivers like that as well. Lewis, very, very good at leading from the front. Same as Max Verstappen. Like, it's not easy. It is not easy.